She watched her city lose. For 3 seasons. She walked into the enemy's hands, on purpose, made a promise at the river before she left. She discovered their secret, grass and fire, 2 words. She ran home with everything her city needed. This is part 3, the battle, the victory, and then, the river comes to collect. She ran through the night, not because she was afraid of being followed, though she was, because every hour between the discovery and the delivery was an hour in which the secret could be lost. She could fall, she could be caught, she could forget, though of course she could not forget. Some things, once known, cannot be unknowing, but she ran anyway, because the running was the only thing left between her and the end of 3 seasons of losing. The guards saw her first. A woman alone on the road at dawn, plain cloth, no jewelry, walking with the specific purposefulness of someone who has somewhere very important to be. He came himself, not a messenger, not a servant. The king came to his own gates at dawn because he had spent 21 nights not knowing whether his wife was alive or dead, and he was not willing to hear the answer from anyone but her face.
You came back.
I said I would.
She came back, as she said she would. He did not reach for her in front of the guards. A king does not perform relief at his own gates. She did not need him to. She was home. That was enough for now. The rest could wait for a room without witnesses. She was home, and she had brought the thing that would end this. And she stood in the same room where she had said, "Send me," 22 days earlier. The same chiefs, the same torches, the same untouched air of a room that has been waiting for something. But she was not the same woman who had stood at the side of this room and spoken out of turn. That woman had been asking for the chance to prove herself. This woman had already done it.
The Ugbo are not spirits. They are men in grass costumes. The masquerade is theater, not magic.
Nobody told her to wait her turn. 3 seasons of believing they were fighting something beyond human understanding. 4 words. She watched the room change. The specific change that happens in a room full of military men when the thing they feared is revealed to be defeatable. The fear does not leave immediately, but the shape of it changes. From a wall into a door.
Fire. Arm every soldier with fire. The costumes burn. The fear burns with them.
Prepare the army.
3 seasons of raids, 12 harvests stripped, hundreds of soldiers broken, solved, by a woman with a torch. They moved immediately. The room that had been frozen with 3 seasons of helplessness, unfroze, because of her, because of 21 nights, because of a promise at a river she had not yet collected on. They went at the next new moon, the night the Ugbo always came, the night Ile-Ife had always dreaded. This time, Ile-Ife was waiting. They were still afraid. Fear does not disappear because you understand its source. What changes is what you do with it. And then the Ugbo came. The same costumes, the same darkness, the same movement that had sent soldiers running for 3 seasons. Ile-Ife did not run. For the first time in 3 seasons, they did not run. The first costume caught, and the thing that had terrified an entire city for 3 seasons became a man, running from fire, like anyone would. The second costume caught, then the third, and something extraordinary happened. The fear transferred. 3 seasons of an entire city's terror, in one night, moved from Ile-Ife's soldiers to the Ugbo warriors who had caused it. It was not a long battle. When the magic breaks, so does the army. The Ugbo did not come back that season, or the next, or ever again. They celebrated for 3 days. Not the polite celebration of a city that has survived something. The full-throated joy of a people who had stopped believing this day would come. And then it came anyway. 3 seasons of going to sleep afraid. 3 seasons of waking up to count what had been taken in the night. 3 seasons of soldiers who could not look their families in the eye. Releasing all of it. at once. In drumming and dancing, and the specific sound of people laughing who had forgotten how. They called her the savior of Ife. They sang her name in the streets. And for this one moment, before the river reminded her, she let herself feel it. Not the performance of gratitude, not the composed acceptance of a woman who has learned not to show what she feels. The real thing, brief, precious, earned. And then she saw him, running toward her the way he always ran, completely, without reservation, the full weight of everything he had felt while she was gone, expressed entirely in how fast his small legs were moving. She had held herself together for 21 nights, through the enemy camp, through the dinner, through the battle, through the council chamber, through the celebration. She held herself together for all of it. And then her son ran into her arms, and she stopped holding herself together.
Mama, will you stay this time?
Yes, I will stay.
She meant it. She did not know yet what staying would cost, not yet. She went to the river the night after the celebration, not because she had to, not because the goddess had summoned her, because she had made a promise, and she was a woman who kept her promises, even the ones made in desperation, even the ones whose price she had agreed to pay without knowing what it was, especially those. The moment she crossed into the shrine grove, the celebration behind her ceased to exist, not because she moved far enough away from it to stop hearing it, because the shrine grove exists in its own acoustic world. What happens inside it stays inside it. She placed the offerings, more than before, because the first visit was a request. This visit was a reckoning. She had thought about this moment every night in the Ugbo camp, in the quiet spaces between performance, in the 3 hours before dawn when the work was done for the day and she could not sleep. She had turned the promise over like a stone in her hands, examining it from every angle, trying to imagine what the price could be. She had prepared herself for many possibilities. She had not prepared herself for the right one.
As in Mirin, it is done. My people are free. Name what you will have. I am ready. I do not want your gold. I do not want your cloth. Give me Ulua Rakbo.
The goddess did not ask for gold. She did not ask for cloth. She asked for her son, the boy with the gap in his teeth, the boy with her cheekbones forming in his face, the boy who asked, "Will you stay this time?" and believed her when she said yes. That boy. The river waited. It had all the time in the world. As Sinmarin had existed before Ife, she would exist after. She could wait. Moremi had known, in the way you know things before you know them, what kind of price the river goddess asked. She had locked that knowing away, because the work needed doing, and she could not do it if she let herself feel what she was doing it for. But she had always known. She did not answer the goddess that night. She went home. She looked at her son sleeping. She looked at him for a long time. And in the morning, she went to find the king. She waited for him at the Iroko tree, the same tree where she had told him she was going, where he had said, "Come back," where she had said, "That is the plan." He could see from her face that something had happened. You did not sleep.
You did not sleep.
I went to the river.
What did she ask for?
Do not ask me to refuse her.
Moremi.
I made the promise before I knew what it would cost. The river held her side. I will hold mine.
He turned away. There are things a king cannot command, even in his own palace, even when they are wrong, even when they are right. She had not told him who. She could not say the name out loud in front of him and still hold herself together long enough to do what needed to be done. There was one more day. She would spend it with her son. The goddess did not ask for gold. She asked for her son. Moremi has not answered yet. You already know what she is going to say. That is what makes it unbearable. The final part of Moremi's story, the part that turned her into a legend, comes in a few days. I need you to be subscribed for this one. This is the part people do not forget.